All right, it's Chris from Don't Let Them Burn. We're at the Trump rally in Las Vegas, and it's peace out here. Not a bunch of violence, no Antifa. In fact, all those people are out and the outskirts of the convention center. So, you know, you got to be really aware of what's going on in our society today. It's a battle between patriotism and communism, socialism, you know, the Fabian society, all these stuff, you know? But I got a big mouth, so let me stop talking and let my guests talk.
I want to back up what Chris said. Same thing, we're out here. No, it's peace. We're having a good time. We're out here supporting our country, our president, everybody's rights, right to free speech, right to vote, this right to make money, not be taxed. That's what we're here for.
Tax to death.
Tax to death, that's right. Stay out of my pockets. But here, once again, just give support to our president and to our country, because it's the greatest country on earth. Everybody wants to be a part of it, and I'm not mad at them for that. So come out here and, like I said, vote, support, whatever side you're on, vote. It counts.
Yeah, hey, my name's Mike. I'm excited to be here to celebrate with everyone, to support the first president who's actually kept his promises. So,
yes.
Yeah, I think everyone should support him.
That's right. That's right. We have a president that finally said what he was going to do and did what he said he was going to do. Does that make sense? Check marks, keep checking off. That's why I support this man.
And remember, the whole thing about immigration, it's not about stopping people from coming to this country. It's about stopping illegals and people that want to basically disrupt and not assimilate to our society. That's important. If you don't understand those concepts, you might want to go do your own research and you know, get the cross T's, dot I's, and get all those ducks in order. Because the mainstream media, the Mockingbird press, is only reporting one side. Only reporting what they're told to report in some cases. Not in all cases, but in many cases. And so we have to be aware of that too, because there's something called mind control. And this subject goes so deep, so wide, and it's something that's been put on us for a long, long time. So you got to break that spell. It's a literal spell. It's not, you know, something that, you know, a witch cooked up and, you know, put some frog leg in the pot or something. This is a scientific experiment. Yeah, and I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds conspiratorial, but that's what it is. And I'm not here to explain all of that right now. But for those of you that follow this ministry, you know that we're about Jesus Christ first. We're not about, you know, basically putting all of our spiritual prowess into a man. But we have to be on the side of right. And, you know, there's all sorts of ways you can argue this point. But guess what? You still have to do your research, no matter what side you're on. So, thanks for tuning in. Don't let them burn. And we'll probably give you some more footage of what's going on inside. The amount of people that are out here is crazy. Anything else you want to say, Mike? Anything else? He's smiling. That's what he wants to say. Anything else you want to say?
Just, guys, enjoy your day. Enjoy every day you have. Not every day's promised you. Not every second's promised you. That's it. Let's do this.
And put Jesus Christ first.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ first all day.
That's right. Socialism. Fabian socialism.
Good morning, Las Vegas! I'll tell you what, before I say the prayer, everybody go like this with me, 4 fingers up. Prophetically speaking, 4 more years. Come on, 4 more years. Come on. our president know that Las Vegas is in the house. Come on, shout it up. There we go. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you and we come to you through your Son named Jesus Christ. And Holy Spirit, we acknowledge you in this place. And Lord, we thank you for our president and his family. And we ask you to protect them and bless them. And the Vice President Pence and the Second Lady also. Everybody that's involved and connected with them. And everyone that's here. And Father, I thank you that this is one nation under God. And Father, we believe that this is what you have called us to do. And that is to be a nation under God. And Father, we just declare and decree right now 4 more years. And we also declare and decree that this is one nation under God. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray.
Former Attorney General Adam Laxalt, Mayor Pro Tem Theory, Chairman Mike McDonald, Dana White, and my fellow Americans, it is great to be back in the Silver State. Great to be with so many friends, but I got to tell you, I'm here for one reason and one reason only. And that is that Nevada and America need 4 more years of President Donald Trump in the White House. That's right. Now, I'm here because I stand with President Donald Trump. When this president stands up for American jobs and American workers, I stand with President Donald Trump. When this president stands up for faith and family and the American flag, I stand with President Donald Trump. And when this president stands up to the radical Democrats, their endless investigations and socialist agenda, we stand with President Donald Trump. You know, 4 years ago, a movement was born. A movement made up of everyday Americans from every walk of life. Here in Nevada, all of you gathered here, you knew we could be strong again. You believed we could be prosperous again. You said yes to President Donald Trump in 2016, and now we need Nevada to say yes to 4 more years of President Donald Trump in 2020. And what a month it's been. What a month it's been. I mean, record Republican turnout in Iowa. A historic State of the Union address. And while Democrats were still counting votes in Iowa, President Trump received more votes in New Hampshire than any incumbent president in 50 years. And best of all, after 3 years of endless investigations and a partisan impeachment, the United States Senate cleared our president on all charges. Justice was served, our Constitution defended, and President Donald Trump was acquitted forever. You know, I can see it here today, but I see all across this country. The support for this president has never been stronger. And as a divided Democrat Party prepares to caucus here in Nevada tomorrow, We couldn't be more proud. Republicans are united, and tomorrow will place the name of President Donald Trump on the ballot in the several states. And it's because this president has delivered on every promise he made to the people of Nevada, and then some. It's been 3 years of promises made and promises kept, but we're just getting started. I mean, think about it. President Trump promised to rebuild our military and restore the arsenal of democracy. And this president has already signed increases in our national defense, the largest since the days of Ronald Reagan. We've rebuilt our military. Under this commander-in-chief, we're finally giving our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard the resources and support they need to accomplish their mission and defend this nation. We're doing it again. And with that renewed American strength, we're standing tall on the world stage again. We have a president who embraces his role as leader of the free world. Under President Trump's leadership, our allies are contributing more to our common defense than ever before. And if the world knows nothing else, the world knows this. Under this president, America stands with Israel. So we've been standing with our allies, and we've been standing up to our enemies. Where the last administration sent pallets of cash to terrorists in Iran, under this president, we've taken the fight to radical Islamic terrorists on our terms, on their soil. Last year, American forces captured the last inch of territory under the ISIS caliphate and took down their leader without one American casualty. Last month, when militants stormed our embassy in Baghdad on New Year's Eve, President Trump sent in the Marines and said, and when American lives were threatened by the most dangerous terrorist in the world, President Donald Trump took action, and Qasem Soleimani is gone. Now, the people of Nevada deserve to know that every one of the Democrats running for president has criticized President Trump's decision to take out Soleimani. Bernie Sanders even said the president's decision to take out Soleimani was, and I quote, assassinating a government official. Well, I got news for Bernie Sanders. Soleimani was not some government official. He was a terrorist, and President Donald Trump was right to take him down. That's what leadership looks like, Nevada. That's the leadership of President Donald Trump. And here in a state that was battle-born, home to more than 200,000 veterans, I couldn't be more proud that under this president's leadership, we're finally giving our veterans access to the real-time, world-class health care that you earned in the uniform of the United States. Veterans' Choice is now available for every veteran. So it's been about national security and supporting our veterans. But this president also knows that national security starts with border security. And under the President's leadership, we've made historic investments to secure our border and end the crisis of illegal immigration. Mexico is doing more than ever before to secure our southern border and theirs. Apprehensions are down by 75%, and we've already started to build that wall on the southern border of the United States. Oh, we're building. And in support of law and order, we have a president who will always stand with the men and women who serve on the thin blue line of law enforcement every day. And to support the rule of law. This president kept the promises he made to the people of Nevada. We've already appointed more than 190 principled conservatives to our courts at every level, and they are all men and women who will uphold the God-given liberties in our Constitution, like the freedom of religion, the freedom of speech, and the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. And I couldn't be more proud to serve as Vice President with a president who stands without apology for the sanctity of human life. Did you know the leading Democrats running for president have actually said that there's no room for pro-life Americans in today's Democratic Party? So, let me be clear. To every pro-life American, Republican, Independent, Democrat, you have a home in the Republican Party. President Donald Trump is the most pro-life president in American history. So it's about security, it's about liberty, it's about our values. And it's about three more things under this president. It's been about jobs, jobs, jobs. From the first day of this administration, President Trump promised to revive the American economy, and he went straight to work. Working with our allies in Congress, we cut taxes across the board. We rolled back more federal red tape than any administration in American history. We unleashed American energy, fought for free and fair trade, and the American economy is booming. Since Election Day 2016, more than 7 million new jobs have been created, including more than 125,000 jobs right here in the Silver State. That's real result. And wages are rising. Wages are rising at the fastest pace they've risen in more than 10 years. And the best news to the president is that wages are rising most rapidly for hardworking, blue-collar Americans. The forgotten men and women of America are forgotten no more. Jobs. 4 more years means more judges for our troops. Yeah! And it's going to take at least 4 more years to drain that swamp. You know, the choice of this election couldn't be clearer. And frankly, the stakes couldn't be higher. Today we have a president, I can tell you first, who loves this country, who stands by our military, by our workers and our freedoms every single day. He believes in you and in everything that's always made America great. And he fights for you every single day. I see him. And then you got all these Democrats running for president. Y'all see that debate the other night in Las Vegas on TV? That wasn't a Democratic debate, that was a demolition derby. What a train wreck. I mean, you got the very night the president is speaking to thousands of Americans in Phoenix about our agenda that's made America stronger and more prosperous and more secure than ever before. People across this country were treated to a Democrat free-for-all. You know, the media is trying to tell us that the Democrat Party is trying to choose between the socialists and some moderates. Yeah, right. I don't know about you, I didn't see any moderates on that stage. I mean, those people were standing so far on the left, I thought that stage was going to tip over. A lot of people are talking about who won the debate. So why don't we help them out? President Donald Trump won the Democrat debate in a knockout. No contest. Lights out. True. You know, honestly, today's Democratic Party has been taken over by radical leftists who want higher taxes, open borders, late-term abortion, and socialist policies that would crush our economy. I mean, frankly, when you listen to their radical agenda, you frankly can see why Democrats keep trying to run down this president. Because they know they can't run against this president. I think they tried to impeach our president because they know they can't defeat President Donald Trump in November of 2020. So, men and women on Nevada, keep bringing all this enthusiasm every day between now and Election Day. Keep voicing your support. Keep telling your neighbors and friends at worship and at work about everything that we've accomplished together under this president's leadership. Wherever you go, every day between now and Election Day, talk about the progress we made as a country. In fact, you might even wear one of those red hats to the next Las Vegas Raiders game. Go tell the story. As I leave here today, I want you to know, we know, men and women, we live in challenging times. It seems like there's more that divides us these days than at any time in my lifetime. But I have to tell you, looking out at all of you, traveling across this country, I have faith. I have faith in this president, who I serve with every day, whose drive and vision have made America great again and can make America greater than ever before. I have faith in all of you and people all across this country, that when we lay out a choice between more freedom and less, between a growing America and bureaucracy, the American people would choose freedom every time. So let's give them a try. And finally, I have faith that if we as a nation continue to turn our hearts to the one who has graced this nation from our founding, from sea to shining sea, he will bless this country more than we could ask or imagine. This one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So have faith. Ladies and gentlemen, President Donald Trump is the real deal. He's a man who says what he means and means what he says. He never quits, he never backs down, and he's never stopped fighting for you every day. And now, Nevada, it's our turn to fight for him. It's on. And I leave here today with every confidence that with your continued support every day between now and November 3rd, we're going to keep on winning. We're going to make Nevada and America stronger and more prosperous than ever before. And with President Donald Trump in the White House for 4 more years, and with God's help, we will keep America great. Thank you all very much. God bless you. And God bless America.
They say they're going to have a lot of problems tomorrow. I hate to tell you this. Have you heard? I hear their computers are all messed up just like they were. They're not going to be able to count their votes. They're going to tell you about health care. They're going to tell you about our military and the jet fighters and missiles and rockets. But they can't count votes. They just can't count. They can't count votes. But they're saying they may not be able to do it again. They're still trying to tell us. I called up yesterday. How are they doing in Iowa? Was that 2 weeks ago? They said, we're getting close. They're not getting close. They'll never know. They'll never know. But I hear the same thing could happen tomorrow. I hope it doesn't, actually. I hope it doesn't. But I'm delighted to be back in a state I love. I have a beautiful building right down the road. Nevada. You're going to say Nevada. You say that wrong, you got problems. You say Nevada, they go, what the hell? Got to be Nevada. With your help this November, we're going to defeat the radical socialist Democrats, and we are going to win Nevada in a big, beautiful landslide. Special people here. You know the special people are? All of you. That's what the special. But we have some very special people, and we celebrate one of the greatest moments in the history of sports. Some people say it was the single greatest moment in the history of sports. It was called the Miracle on Ice. Do you remember? That was when the Russians had a team assembled that was probably, they say, maybe the greatest team ever assembled. They were unbelievable. And you know, our guys played a practice game with them. Was it like a couple of weeks before? And I hate to tell you, the score was 10-3, and the USA was not on top. And this team was an incredible team, and they went in, and it was amazing. But tomorrow marks the 40 years since the United States men's hockey team defeated then Soviet Union team in the 1980 Olympics. Incredible. That was incredible. Most of you remember that. Look at that. We got a lot of young ones, but we got a lot of people that remember that. And by the way, we got the Olympics coming back and coming to Los Angeles. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, President. President Trump. 8 years, 2028. And you know what? Unless I'm still president then, which is a distinct possibility, I won't be here. And you know what they'll do? I'll say, how's the Olympics going? Does anybody have a ticket for the president that got the Olympics to come here? Los Angeles, it was great. He called up and Gave him a lot of help. I was president-elect then because the president didn't want to get involved. He didn't want to get involved in getting the Olympics, so they called me, and I was president-elect, hadn't taken office. And I got involved, and I'll tell you, they were happy we got involved. It was great. It's going to be very exciting. Today, we are thrilled to have with us 14 players of that really incredible gold medal team. Give them a big hand. And they were amazed. They said, boy, this is a big crowd. I said, it's only because you guys are coming. You know, this thing was supposed to be for this evening. And I said, let me get back to Washington. Do it early. So we gave you almost no notice. You have thousands of people outside, thousands of people inside.
Yeah!
You had to see. We were in Iowa. We were in New Hampshire. You saw what happened in Colorado last night. It was unbelievable. Every place we go, it's the same. Incredible. I don't know if you saw the pictures last night of the outside in Colorado. It was incredible. You could have filled that arena up 4 times, and it was a big arena. And it's something. So I hated to do it to you at 12 o'clock, but I said, let's go. I want to get back. We got to deal with China. We got to deal with Russia. We got to deal with North Korea, South Korea. We got to deal with the rest of the world. Get my people back. We got to get the hell out of here, right? But we have a lot of time. I'd like now to invite these incredible sport legends to join me on stage. A friend of mine and a very good golfer, by the way, Captain Mike. Mike. Where's Mike? Where is he? Mike. You know who he is? He's a fake handicap, is what he is. Say something.
Just welcome everybody. It's ironic we happen to be here to celebrate our 40th anniversary. The Vegas Knights flew the whole team out to honor us tonight and for the weekend. And we obviously thank the people of Las Vegas for having us here. We're looking forward to celebrating a special time, and it's a great honor for the president to invite us to be part of this event as well. So, Vegas, thanks for having us.
Just tell me, am I a good athlete and am I a good golfer?
Maybe. Yes, sir. Whatever you say.
That was some goaltending, right? How many did you rebuff? I mean, but how many did you have? Very few, but a lot of shots, right? He was like a pinata. So, Mike, that was great. Goaltender Jim Craig. So, Jim rebuffed. Come here, Jim. Great goaltender. Great goaltender. They didn't know what was happening. They kept shooting. He doesn't know how many rebuffed. How many rebuffed? 37. Woo! So let me ask you, was that nice goaltending? Because that was incredible. Was that the greatest game you ever played? You've had a lot of great games. Was that the greatest game? That was slightly important. 37. 37! Woo! Bill Baker. Bill, come on. Bill Baker. Dave Christian. Ken Morrow. Jack O'Callahan, Mike Ramsey, those legs took a beating. Mark Wells, Neil Broughton, John Harrington, Rob McClanahan, Buzz Schneider, Dave Silk, Phil Vercotta, and a great coach, an assistant coach at the time, Craig Patrick. They said 4 more years. 12 more years left for the... Look, hey Mike, look at the fake news back there. I always say, that's like the Academy Awards used to be. This year we had a movie, they said best movie. They announced the movie from South Korea. I said, what's that all about? South Korea. Look, I get a little great with South Korea, but you know, I never saw that one before. I used to go best foreign movie. Now we do it that way. I don't get it, but that's what it used to be. And this is really an incredible time. I'll tell you what, for our country, that's why I like to see things that we do get on it, because nobody is doing what we do. Nobody can do it like us. We're the greatest country in the world again. We have the greatest military by far. We totally rebuilt our military. Jobs are booming. Incomes are surging. Poverty is plummeting. Factories are returning. Confidence is soaring like these guys. The confidence is soaring. But, you know, we do have somebody that I'd like to point out, because his team is, they had a coach. And that coach was a very inspirational. And I'd like to have maybe one of you come up and just say a few words about Coach Brooks. Because he was he was a big heart on this team. Please.
I think it would be appropriate, we've got a few minutes, that Herb Brooks' daughter, Kelly, is here representing her father. And I can honestly tell you that Kelly was not ready for this at all. Her dad was an amazing coach. He was a great teacher. He was a great motivator at times. Maybe too much of a motivator. He was very demanding. He was very difficult to play for. But trust me on one thing, there never once was a day that we didn't respect the man, and never once was a day that we didn't trust him and what he was trying to do. He orchestrated the greatest sports moment of the 20th century, and the guys behind me were so proud and honored to have been a part of him and what he was able to put together. It was a perfect environment, a perfect storm sometimes. Not only a great coach, but great players and great people that stand behind me now. So if Kelly would like to say a couple of words, no, she won't.
Thank you. I'm honored that his legacy still is alive today, and he would be proud to be here with you all. In my personal opinion, he would have been a Trump fan.
One thing. So, I see those tears. That means you think you miss him and you love him, right? Was he actually a nice guy? Because he looked tough. Mike was just saying he was brutal. But he was a good guy, right? Tough, but great. Thank you very much. Thanks, Kelly. Thank you all. Greatest sports story could be #1. See these phonies, these the do-nothing Democrats. They said today that Putin wants to be sure that Trump gets elected. Here we go. Here we go again. Did you see it? No. Aren't people bored? Now, does that include, because a couple of weeks ago, Crooked Hillary said Chelsea Gabbard, right? Tulsi Gabbard. And, right? She was a Russian agent, Tulsi. And also, Stein, from Jill Stein. I don't know Jill Stein, I never met the woman. She is a Green Party candidate, or was. They said she's an agent of Russia. I don't know her, and I don't know Tulsi. The only thing I know about both of them is they're not agents. They are not agents of Russia. These people are sick. Let's pencil neck. Pencil neck. just see it again. I was told that was happening. I was told a week ago. They said, you know, they're trying to start a rumor. It's disinformation. That's the only thing they're good at. They're not good at anything else. They get nothing done. Do nothing, Democrats. That Putin wants to make sure I get elected. Listen to this. So, doesn't he want to see who the Democrat's going to be? Wouldn't he rather have, let's say, Bernie? Wouldn't he rather have Bernie? Who honeymooned in Moscow?
Wow.
These people are crazy.
Yes.
That's all they think about. They don't think about the country. They don't think about jobs. They don't think about lowering your drug costs, infrastructure. These people are crazy. Trust me. I like what we're doing, and I love this country. Now, and I campaigned on it. At the same time, we want to get along with Russia. We want to get along with China. We want to get along with all these countries. Who the hell needs to have conflict?
Right.
But these people are sick. They are sick people. The radical left's attempts to poison our democracy and overturn the last election have totally ended in a big fat failure. And by the way, you saw today? Single best day I've ever had in the polls. And any poll that the fake news gives you, because the real numbers are higher, but any poll they give you is a fake. But Wisconsin, the great state of Wisconsin, I was leading by many, many, many points against every one of these characters. Can you believe it? We got a new one, Mini Mike. How did he do in the debate there? Mini Mike! Here's a box, Mike. Here, Mike. Mini Mike. He was a beauty. What happened? He couldn't breathe. What happened? Mike would like to know. How about that Pocahontas screaming at him? She forgot. She forgot that she lied about her own heritage. She said she was an Indian because she had high cheekbones. That was the only thing. Remember when I said I have more Indian blood in me than she has, and I have none? To the best of my knowledge. Wouldn't mind having some, but I happen to have none. And she choked and she went out and got a report done. 1,024. You know what that means? That means probably I do have more. Now, why did he bring that up when she was screaming at him? Why? Because he was gasping for breath. I can't breathe! God, I can't breathe. She's hitting me too hard. Pocahontas. Well, she won that debate because Mike could not respond. They all said that. That's funny. I won. They're all shot. It's not me that's saying it. You fake news people. Who won the debate? Trump. You know what? The way I look at it, when fake news CNN, oops, there goes the camera off. Red light just went off. See, I can tell every one of them I know them by heart. I know the operators, I know the cameramen. They're okay. They're all on our side, by the way. Listening to that. Get that camera off. I don't want to do that. Get that camera off. It's going to be your job. All right, I'm sorry, President. But how about MSDNC? They're worse than
MSHIV.
And they're owned by people that really are bad. I think they're very bad for our country. The owners of Comcast, rotten company, bad for our country, very bad. They try, you know, they have all these PR things to try and keep their image nice and clean. What they do on television is so disgusting. I think in the old days you had to have licenses for this stuff, right? They can say whatever they want to say. Let's see what happens over the next period of time. Bunch of dishonest people. Comcast, terrible company, terrible people running that company. And you know what? I had Celebrity Apprentice. I had The Apprentice on for 14 seasons. 14 seasons. And they used to come to my office and they would kiss my ass. Please sign. It's an interesting story. They came and we signed. You know who signed me? Jeff Zucker. It's one of the only things he's done good in broadcasting. But I signed, and NBC, as you know, is owned by Comcast. But I signed, and they figured the show would be a total failure, so they only signed me for one season. You know, I was going to have it, it was going to go on. And then the show goes, started at 10, went to 8, went to 7, went to 5. Went to 4, went to 2. It went to 1. I had the #1 show on all of television. It was a phenomenal, and the final episode, remember that? You remember that? You remember the final? We had, I don't know, it was like one of the biggest shows of the year. It was a tremendous success. But here I was. I signed with NBC. And they didn't even want to waste the ink on an option. Usually they have an option for, just like, they didn't do it, you stupid people. So they paid me very little for the first season. I think $25,000 a show, which is, considered like not good. It's okay, it was fun. I didn't know it was going to be successful, hey, just like this was successful. It's a reason. Because when I left there, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I like Arnold said some very nice things other than some not, but the show did not exactly succeed when I was there. But I had it on and they wanted me to sign for more, and I said, no, I'm going to run for president. But I'll never forget, I didn't know anything about this. I had an agent, wonderful guy from William Morris, and he said, sir, I don't want you to sign. No business show has ever done well on network television. Well, it's not business, it's entertainment. Sir, I don't want you to sign. Sir, don't sign. I said, yeah, okay, but I have a problem. I shook the hand of somebody. I have to. And Mark Burnett was great, he was my guy. But we shook hands, so I have to. But I agreed, I didn't know that no business type show had ever succeeded on network television. So he said, I don't want you to sign, so break it. I said, I can't break it. Anyway, so the show, I said, started at 10, went to 9, it was the #1 show, like I said. And the agent called me up. And he said, sir, I remember it was 6 in the morning, I was in bed. He said, sir, the show just went to #1. I'd love to see you because I think I'm entitled to more money. I said, you didn't want me to do the show? Well, not really. I was okay. He said, I'd really like more money. I said, Jim, I like you very much. Jim, you're fired. Anyway, I had 14 great seasons over about 11 years because it was so successful they kept it. They would have run it. Remember when they did the 3 hours? The whole night was The Apprentice. I said, wait a minute. Gone with the Wind, to mention the movie the second time. Gone with the Wind is shorter. They had The Apprentice on for 3 hours. I said, even it's too long. You can't put it on for 3. You got to leave it a little bit like, I want to come back next week. But they had it on for 3 weeks. We did fantastically with it. Comcast did great. NBC did great. They wanted me to sign for another 3 years. I said, no, I'm going to run for president. And that was actually the time when I knew I was going to run. Because, they were paying a lot of money. Whether you're rich or not, it's still a lot of money. I don't care how rich you are, it's a lot. It's millions and millions of dollars. And I said, no, I'm going to run for president. And I did that. But from the day I ran, they went from being, wonderful. They were nice. They were nice. I guess if I didn't do well with the show, they wouldn't have been nice because they weren't nice to other people that failed. People that didn't have good ratings. And business is a very simple business. If you have good ratings, you can treat them like garbage. If you have bad ratings, you can say, sir, I really respect you so much. Get out of here. Get them out of here. They're very ruthless people. But Comcast is a rotten company. They forgot totally. And they are worse than CNN. I will tell you that right now. Comcast is worse than CNN. We should call it Comcast because that's their beautiful maiden name, Comcast. They're worse than CNN. I'll tell you something about CNN. Jake Tapper today. He put out, now I know you don't like him. I know. Who likes him? Who the hell cares? I think his wife likes him. I really believe she does. But let me just tell you, he put out a couple of social media posts today, because I never call it tweet, I call it social media, because it's much bigger than tweet. But we have, Dan Scavino, the great Dan Scavino, we have on 5 sites. We're #1 on Twitter, we're #1 on Facebook, in the whole world, So it's powerful. But Jake Tapper put out some things basically saying, I believe it, that's the way I read it, that the new Russian thing that started yesterday, that Putin wants to be sure that Trump would give me a break.
Stupid.
Give me a break. But Jake Tapper said, it ain't so. And if he did say that, because they were a little complex, they can turn him around, or when Zucker sees him and said, why did you put that? I want that deleted and I want you to do a different one. But he did say that, so I respect that, because it's another hoax story. But we're standing up for the defense of our Constitution, for our freedom and democracy itself. You know that. I love this shirt. Bobby, I don't know, he looks like a nice guy. Can you please welcome up, even if you have about 5? Come here. You gotta see this. You gotta see this shirt. I love it. I'm gonna order me one that I can ride around. Come on up here. He looks safe. He doesn't look like he's gonna start a fist fight. He's a good fan, I guess. You gotta see this shirt. I love it. Is there any place that's more fun than a Trump rally, right? How many rallies have you been to? 80. He said 80 rallies. Come up here. Come on. Look at these things. These guys are serious. These are serious fans, right? Are you with him? Are you with him? Are you with him? You're with him. Come up here. Wow. I just said, how long have you two been together? I figured they'd say, we're married. He met her at the rally in Colorado. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Man, did he get lucky. They both got lucky, right? Oh, that's cool. No, I just see there's so much stuff out here. It's genius, actually. While the extreme left has been wasting America's time with vile hoaxes, we've been killing terrorists, creating jobs, raising wages, enacting fair trade deals, securing our border, lifting up citizens of every race, color, religion, and creed. As you heard, we added another 225,000 new jobs last month alone, way above anticipated standards. And that makes 7 million new jobs since the election, the number was supposed to be under 2 million, and we added 7 million. And remember, if I give you wrong numbers, the fake news is going to have headlines. Trump gave you wrong. I mean, it's very tough. I've got to be very careful. Even if I give you wrong in the wrong way, they'll say it was wrong. I said, yeah, but it was wrong in the low way. No, that's no good either. You've got to be exactly, very precise with these characters. The Democrats don't have to be, but we have to be. We've destroyed the ISIS territorial caliphate 100%. We killed the founder and leader of ISIS. Al-Baghdadi is dead. Al-Baghdadi is dead. 17 years ago. 17 years. Al-Baghdadi, one of the first things I did when I came in, he's the founder of ISIS, and when I came in 3 years ago, ISIS was all over the place, and I said, you gotta knock it out. We knocked it out of Syria, Iraq, and other places, and we really knocked it 100%. Remember, I wanted to leave. I said, all right, we were at 96%, then 98%, then 99%. I said, let some of these other countries do it. Wouldn't you say, right? Yeah. So what happened is I wanted to leave, and they said, no, we want 100%. So we waited and stayed. We got 100%. Then we moved them all out of Syria, except we did keep the oil. You noticed that, right? Yeah. They said he left soldiers in Syria. Yeah, I did, to keep the oil, if you don't mind. Which is what we should have done in Iraq, too, by the way. I would have done that. I'm making a lot of money with all that oil. But you remember that whole thing, I said, you gotta find al-Baghdadi. I've been saying that actually for 2 years. I had a lot of other things to do the first year. Like fight off the Democrats, these crazy Democrats, with their hoaxes. Think of it, if they use their genius, because they are genius at that stuff, right? They're really good. They can take nothing. They can take a perfect phone call made to the Ukrainian president, who said very specifically there was no pressure. He doesn't even know what's going on. And they can take this perfect call. Thank goodness I had a transcriber. Do you agree with that? Because the fake whistleblower said that the call was totally different than what the call was. So when I released the call, when I released the transcripts, they died. They said, oh, we got a problem. They never thought I was going to do it. But I had no choice. I had to, because I had to show they're liars. But think of it. They can take something like that, a perfect phone call, or they'll take just out of thin air, they can make something up. And they ended up today, front page, New York Times. They used to go at the 8th column. That's the big column on the right. I don't know. The paper's become so small, I don't know if they have an 8th column. They used to have the 8th column was the big deal, right? That was the big deal. Today it's too narrow. I think they're probably. After I'm gone, they won't have any columns. Yeah. That's why eventually they're going to support me. Eventually the Times and the Washington Post, which will be dead as a doornail after I leave, and the CNN, it'll be an obsolete business, the cable business. Yeah. MSDNC will be out of business. You know, cable was supposed to be obsolete, and now they're doing the highest numbers they've ever done. If an airplane goes down with 700 people, they don't cover it. If it's not Trump-related, they don't cover it. It's got to be Trump or Trump-related. So if a plane goes down and it's total devastation, if a ship goes down, if the Titanic equivalent went down, they wouldn't cover it, unless I was on the sucker. They wouldn't cover it. The fake news would not cover the equivalent of the Titanic. But you know what they're going to do before the election? They're going to say, we want to just say something. We're going to endorse the president. You know why? Because they'll be out of business. Can you imagine if they had to cover Mini Mike? Who I think he's gone. But you know what? He'll spend another $500 million. Don't forget, I spent 70 and I won, of my money. In other words, they said, and this was in the New York Times, I said it the other night in Colorado. I spent 70. Mini Mike so far has spent almost $500 million in order to get embarrassed by Pocahontas. Yeah. And she's mean, isn't she? Do you see the anger on her face? That nervous energy? She's like jumping up and down. She's a mess. No, she's mean, right? Right? See, that face is just, she wanted to get him. She said, I got him. I want to see those agreements. You open up those agreements. This poor guy probably signed 100 of them. And each one's a disaster. He said, I don't want to open those agreements. Nobody told me this was going to happen. He said, actually, nobody told me. Get me out of here. You know, after the debate, he went backstage, fired a lot of people. He said, how the hell did you get me into this thing? Anyway, but Pocahontas was really mean. And she's going to be easy. I hope it's her. She's not going to be her. She made a little comeback the other night because she took Minnie Mike to the cleaners. But it's not going to be her. It can't be Buttigieg. Alfred E. Newman. Ladies and gentlemen, introduce President Alfred E. Newman. And see, nobody knows because you're all too young. Nobody knows who Alfred is. It's Mad Magazine. They all said, no, howdy doody. See, nobody knows who Alfred E. Newman is. Only the real aficionados, they're the ones that they love it. But that's only 15% of the crowd, right? Am I right? Better than howdy doody and howdy doody. But he's got to, he's got to worry about his own city. It's going to hell, so he's got to worry because that city's got a lot of problems. I don't get the whole thing, but he's not a bad debater, I will say. He's probably the best up there. Bernie is too emotional, screaming, going crazy. And Biden is angry. Biden is angry. Everything's angry, gee. And that's what happens when you can't get the words out. That's what happens, right? When you can't get the words out, you get angry. You get angry because you can't get the words out. It might happen to me someday. Can you imagine if that happened to me? Man, would I be a bad guy? I'd be the meanest man in history. No, but Biden is very angry. He gets angrier and angrier and angrier. He's changed. And then you have that time, he said Tom Steyer. Tom said, Mr. Impeachment, how did that work out, Tom? Thank you very much for the great poll numbers between him and Nervous Nancy. How did that work out? This schmuck spends $250 million. He ends up with 1/3% in Iowa, but maybe, that could be rigged because they still don't have any idea what it is. Maybe he won Iowa, they took it away from him. No, but he was substantially below. It said, all I know, it said 1% and an arrow left. So he spends $250 million, Tom Steyer. Never heard of this guy. Who is he? Where did he get his money? Who is he? He was in the coal business. Did you know that? This guy, this phony is a big environment. He made his money, a lot of it, in the coal business. Nobody knows that, but he's a fake. Remember when he walked up to Bernie the other day? Hi, Bernie. Hi. Oh, and he was having a fight with Pocahontas. Is this the greatest? Mark Burnett said this is the greatest reality show in history. He said you can take The Apprentice, and you can take Survivor, and you can take every other reality show ever made, multiply it times 10,000, and you still don't have what we have. And even the cast, they say this. You got the perfect president, you got the perfect first lady. How about the first lady? You got the perfect kids, those beautiful kids. My beautiful kids, they had such a great life before I did this. Sorry, kids. Sorry. My beautiful Ivanka, she had such a great life. She had a company that was selling shoes and everything you could sell. She just put her name on it. And she said, Daddy, doesn't matter. I want to come to Washington and help people get jobs. When she left the company, and when you leave a company, all of a sudden it doesn't do as well. I wouldn't say that I exactly helped talking about the wall. But she left the company, came to Washington, and She said 500,000 jobs, that was her goal. And she did that in the first month. She actually did it. She's gotten these great companies like Walmart and many others, Exxon. She's gotten them to take millions of people. She's now over 15 million jobs where they train people and bring them into the companies. 15 million! And she's got, you know, she's got it figured out. Not most people can, but she does. But all they do is give them heat. They work so hard. And could you imagine? You take Biden's son. Can you imagine? You know, I deal with all these big companies and these great countries. I think I could get my sons 25 board chips for millions of dollars apiece. My kids would be bad, but you know what? We don't do any of that stuff. We don't do that stuff. We don't do it. The kid got $3 million, $83,000 a month, and he didn't have a job until his father became vice president. And speaking of vice presidents, okay? And speaking also of reality television, because it's the greatest show of all time, right? Look at this thing. Look. We told you what, last night? A little change, folks. We're going to move it up from 8 o'clock in the evening till 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Little change, just a minor. Because I have to get back to Washington and work. I feel guilty. This is too much fun. But speaking of vice presidents, and speaking of perfect vice presidents, you know, if you become president, the first thing you have to do is choose a really horrible vice president. So if the idiots ever want to impeach you, they have to say, I can't impeach him. Look who we have. I have the perfect vice president. I have the greatest in the world. I have the greatest. I got the great one. I said, you know, I can't do that. I picked a great guy. He's done a fantastic job. He's been a great vice president. But it is true. I could have picked, I'll give you names, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but there are plenty of them out there, mostly out there. And I don't want to do that. But Mike Pence has been great. But tell me, is it perfect casting? The whole thing. And this isn't about casting. This is about real life. But when Mark Burnett said to me the other day, he said, the greatest reality show of all times a million. And that's exactly, except for one thing. We work our asses off, and we are doing things that nobody has ever done before. Right? So we took out al-Baghdadi, and then we just took out 2 weeks ago the world's top terrorist, Qasem Soleimani of Iran, ending his evil reign of terror forever. He's the father of the roadside bomb. When you see our beautiful people walking around with no legs, they're walking and trying to walk so hard, and they're really in rough shape. They have incredible the job the doctors do at Walter Reed in some of these hospitals. And they get them to a point where sometimes they really can. They walk around, but it's hard. And they lose legs and they lose arms. That was Soleimani. He's the father. And I'll tell you what, you know who's happy about it? The people of Iran are happy, and even the leaders of Iran, because the leaders of Iran were afraid of him, okay? And the fact is, America is respected again. We're winning. We're winning all over. We're winning in Washington. The Democrats keep losing their minds. That is why millions of registered Democrat voters are leaving their party to join our movement. They're joining the Republican Party. So we have a lot of the energy in this room. They're all fighting. They're all fighting. We're a unified party. The Republican Party has never been unified like it is today. I could say we're going to go over to the Hilton, or we're going to go over to someplace. And we're going to do a rally at 8 o'clock tonight. We'd have tens of thousands of people. There's never been this. You know, Ronald Reagan was great. I thought he was a great guy, great president, didn't like his policy of trade. That's okay, trade. But if he came to Las Vegas, you know, they'd have a ballroom, they'd have 500, maybe 1,000 people. What we're doing, and this isn't even, I must say this, I don't want to tell you this, this is not election season. Because we're 9 months away. You know, election season is when you're 2 months away. We're not even in election season, and we have more enthusiasm now, believe it or not, than we had even before the election in 2016. We have a great gentleman and woman with us, a friend of mine, Mr. and Mrs. Sheldon Adelson, right over here. Great, great person. Two great people. He's got so much money, he doesn't know what the hell to do with it. He owns the Sands Hotel. That's like one of his smaller businesses. Sheldon, that's like your small business. He is a great guy. She's an incredible, she's a doctor. And she studies addiction and drugs, drug addiction, all sorts of addictions. And she knows more about that subject, I think, than anybody. And she works hard, and she doesn't need it. He does not need the money that she brings in, okay? He also happens to own the paper. He owns the paper. You own the paper in town, right? They wanted like a couple of $100 million too much. He said, give it to them. It's peanuts. What the hell difference is it? We want to thank the Adelsons. They've been incredible fans, and they love Israel. They love Israel. I just saw him sitting there. I didn't know that. I can see him sitting there. You know what's happening. You know what's going on. In this region alone last year, ICE officers and their patriots, they're strong, tough patriots. If we didn't have them, they removed thousands and thousands of MS-13 gang members a year. Who else is doing that? ICE officers arrested over 5,000 criminal aliens, charged or convicted of dangerous offenses, including robbery, rape, and even murder. Many murders. In Western Nevada, an illegal alien was charged with robbing and brutally executing 4 victims last year. Right here in Las Vegas, 3 MS-13 gang members abducted a man, tied him up with his shoelaces, shot him repeatedly, and hacked him to death with a machete. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's right here in your place in Las Vegas. Right here. They hacked him to death, tied up and hacked him to death. Yet left-wing politicians oppose all detention of illegal aliens, even convicted criminals and murderers, and they support deadly sanctuary cities. You know, I say this all the time, and I just, how the hell, I mean, where are they coming from? I don't get it. Right? Seriously, I don't get it. Sanctuary cities imperil American lives by releasing dangerous criminal aliens directly into your communities. If you want to shut down sanctuary cities, if you want to protect your family and your loved ones, you must vote Republican in 2020. We have some great ones here, Mike. Thanks to our tireless efforts to secure the border, we have reduced illegal border crossings 8 straight months in a row. And as the wall gets longer, it gets easier and easier. Remember when the Democrats were saying, you don't need a wall? You know, 2 things that never change, right? All these computers, they said, use drones. Oh, great, we'll fly over the drones. Watch the people pour in by the fence. That's great. Use drones. You know, before I came along, they all wanted the wall. They just didn't know how to build it. They had no clue. They had no clue. They had no clue. They had the money. They actually gave the money back. But they had no clue. But as soon as I came in and I said, wall, 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 they went against. And I made a terrible, terrible mistake. You know, they always say I never admit mistakes. I do. But I'll admit a mistake now. I should have said, we will never, ever, under any circumstances, build a wall. They would have given me so much money for a wall. They would have forced me to build. I made a terrible mistake, right? Terrible mistake. So if it ever happens again, which it won't, this wall is one of a kind. We'll say, we will not build the wall. And they'll say, we demand that you build the wall, and it would have been so easy. Illegal crossings are down 75% since last spring, and we have ended catch and release. Horrible. We catch them, you know the story. They come over, could be a killer, murder, rapist. They come over, we can't do anything. We have to be politically correct. We catch them. We then say, what's your address? They don't know. They don't even know their country in many cases. Where do you come from? We don't know. And they mean it. But some are very serious criminals. So we catch them. We take whatever they can take, which is nothing. And then we had to release them in our country. We can't bring them back. And then we have a system of judges, thousands of judges all over the place. You got to be like Perry Mason. And everybody, every illegal that comes in, they have the lawyers. You know, the lawyers need them. They get fees. They get paid fees. But we're breaking the system. No more catch and release. You think that was easy? And the big thing is that 30-foot, and this wall is built exactly to the specifications of Border Patrol. Totally. And Border Patrol has seized the largest amount just recently of deadly narcotics ever recorded, the largest amount. We've deported record numbers of gang members. We've done more to secure the border than any administration in history. We are, as I said, building the wall faster than ever, faster and bigger than anyone thought possible. They can't believe we're getting it done. We'll have over 500 miles of wall built sometime next year. 500 miles. Washington Democrats have never been more extreme than they are right now. 132 congressional Democrats have now signed up for Bernie Sanders' takeover of health care that would strip 180 million Americans, many of them in this room, of their private coverage. Remember President Obama? Remember? He said, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan 28 times. He lied! So we should impeach him. We should impeach him. We're going to impeach him. We'll do a belated impeachment. We're going to do it a belated impeachment. 28 times you can keep your doctor, right? Remember, you can keep your doctor. You can get, unfortunately, when they found out you can't keep your doctor, he said, I was just kidding. Now we should impeach him. We'll do a belated impeachment, fake news. You have to be very careful when you say impeach him, because you know what they do? They go back and they write. They write. President Trump said that Obama should be impeached, but he's not in office, and so therefore they can't do it. He doesn't know what he's talking about, because he's not in office, so therefore they can't. So you have to be very careful. That's why I use the word belated impeachment. Belated, meaning I'm just kidding, okay? They do it all the time. They had it the other day. I said, bring back On with the Wind, right? I said the movie. I said a little bit up here, but I said the movie the other day in Colorado, I guess. I said, South Korean movie award. You know, they said, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Academy Award is a movie made in South Korea. I said, what's this all about? And I deal with them, they like me. We're helping them a lot. They're killing us on trade, you know, they beat us on trade and then they win the Academy Award for Africa. But we redid that trade deal. Yeah. But the other day they got me on this one too. I said, whatever happened to Gone with the Wind? That beautiful movie, Vivian Lee, Clark Gable. Whatever happened, bring back Gone with the Wind. And some of them wrote, he doesn't know that that movie was made like in 1936. So anybody sitting, this is fake news, it is fake news, they're fake news. But no, anybody sitting there reading, they're saying, man, Trump can't be that smart. You know, he said, bring back Gone with the Wind, that's an old movie. It's an old classic. Bring back, make, what I say is, make great movies, you know? Not this computerized garbage. And I was never a fan of Brad Pitt, I will tell you. No, I thought he was a stiff. He was like a stiff. It's like a boring guy. All of a sudden he wins the Academy Awards. It's funny. Their ratings aren't so good in the Academy Awards. You know when that stopped? When they started attacking us. Their ratings went right down the tubes. You know, I told somebody the evening newscast, you know, they're terrible for conservative people. And they're crooked. They're absolutely dishonest. I said to one of the big broadcasters, I'm friendly with him, I said, you know, if you ever did a conservative newscast, instead of you know, you got ABC is terrible. NBC is just absolutely atrocious. And they do badly, you know, not a lot of people are watching. They used to when we had the late, great Walter Cronkite and these legends, right? But ABC is terrible, NBC is terrible, and CBS is terrible. They're all the same. And I said, you know, your ratings stink. If you would do a newscast that's conservative, I'd get them a host I could recommend guys right now. Right? I'd get them a host, we'll call up. Don't take Sean Hannity away from us. Don't take our show. That's my problem, I don't want to watch. Then put on a conservative person and lift the ratings 5 times. They would rather have a film. Just like they were hoping 7 months ago, you know, we had a little skit and they were hoping the market would crash because they would rather lose their money or big parts of it and have a really horrible market on the basis that we could not be elected on November 3rd. This is how evil, this is how crazy they are. They've gone crazy. I guess you call it Trump derangement syndrome?
Yeah.
But if they ever did a conservative broadcast, meaning very fair, very honest, but if, it's almost like, when I say that, it's almost like do a fair broadcast, just a fair broadcast. That thing would